just crap. And the way that I came to understand this most profoundly is that after running an art gallery and editing an art magazine here in town up until about the early 70s, I decided, eek! And I went to Nashville to write popular music. And so I wrote songs and played in bands and did stuff like that in Nashville, where they're, strangely enough, not as well educated, but a lot smarter, because it takes more brains to get from Mississippi to Nashville than it does to get from Connecticut to Manhattan. Do you understand? And so these are extremely intelligent people who have, all of their education comes off bus station bus routes, you know, so they know about Edgar Casey and things like that. But my best friend down there was a great songwriter named Billy Joe Shaver. And Billy Joe probably wrote the best hook that's ever been written for a country song. It's called, the song is called I'm Just an Old Chunk of Coal, but I'm going to be a diamond someday. It's pretty good. But anyway, Billy and I used to go around and pitch songs to record producers. And we'd go in and we'd play tapes, and we'd play them on the guitar, and we'd try to sell songs. Now, Billy was selling 10 for my one. And I didn't mind, because Billy really was 10 times better than I was. But I planned to get better and to learn from this whole thing. And I told him that it didn't bother me because he was 10 times better. And Billy said, Dave, it's not about the quality of the song. That don't matter. They can make a hit out of any piece of crap. What matters, you see, is that it doesn't make a difference, because one song, like one work of art, varies from another song or work of art in microseconds, infinite, you know, tiny, tiny little variations. And he said, Waylon Jennings and Bobby Bear know a good song from a bad one. Nobody else in this whole town does. So they're not really doing business with us. What they're doing is trying to make themselves feel good. And how do they make them feel good? Here, you and I, in their office, playing our guitars. He says, I could take urine and sell them. You could take mine and you couldn't. Because you got a brownstone on East 50th Street because you speak French. I lost 3 fingers in a sawmill accident and quit junior high to join the goddamn Navy. Now, you don't have a chance of next to me. He said, do you understand? Because what this guy is thinking, will it make me feel good to cut one of Dave's songs? No, because that'll be like he's giving in to all of your intelligence and all of your education and all of your sophistication. That'll be like he's giving in, you know. But if he buys a song from poor old Billy Joe Shaver, who had to quit junior high school and who had 3 fingers cut off in a sawmill accident, which I should note somewhat impaired Billy's guitar style. But you know, in a winning and sort of abject way. He said when they buy one of my songs, they felt like they fed a tramp at the back door. They feel great about themselves. He says you just have to understand that this kind of patronage, this kind of help, depends exactly on the emotional defects of the people who are giving it out. In other words, it depends absolutely on what they want. One piece of art, one song, no major difference in the larger spec of things. What that means is that poor Billy Joe, with the benefit of a junior high school education, somehow understood the first principle of Foucault, which is care is control. Care is control. Those who care for you control you. So then I think of all of these alliances and all of these organizations and all of these institutes, and they're there to control you. Do you understand what I'm saying? What, for instance, might the Turner Prize be about? Remember, every year they have this award they give out in London called the Turner Prize, named for a better painter than anyone they've ever given it to. Or maybe it's another Turner altogether. Don't get me started there. It's too rich. And every year we say, who's going to get the Turner Prize? Or in literature, who's going to get the Booker Prize? Who's going to get the Turner Prize? Then somebody gets it, and we are shocked and dismayed. You know, I think last year was some kid who runs around from gallery to gallery turning on and off the lights. You know what I mean? I used to do that when I owned a gallery. You know? It didn't really, but what you look at the Turner Prizes over the years, and you understand that care is control. All of these awards are designed to keep British art on the steady road of post-minimalist conceptualism, and to keep us from, veering too much from things that Nick Sirota doesn't understand. And so the Turner Prize is always there, the Booker Prize is always there to redirect things, to get there. I don't know if the Hugo Boss works, considering the source, but I would imagine that it would. So let us presume then that we have an interesting situation here in which we are supposed to make things that aren't boring. You understand what I'm saying? And as the great music producer Tom Dowd said, that the first rule of writing a song is don't bore us, get to the chorus. And so in a sense, that's all of our jobs. And so what we have in any given moment in our life is a field of what you would call standard practice. You walk around and look at all of these buildings, see all the moves that are going on. They're all pretty, if you don't notice them, if you have to force yourself to notice them, they're standard practice. And that all of this standard practice is built upon a standard canon. That is the stuff from which it all derives, being Bruce Allen. And who else? Bruce Allen. That's it. Bruce, he controls your lives. That's a responsibility, which Bruce couldn't care less about, sure. But the point is now, how do you make good art in a situation like this? Well, the rule when you're trying not to be boring is that any work of art that perfectly complies to the canon and to standard practice, it's not bad, it's not good, it's not there. Do you understand? It's just not there. It complies perfectly. It fits right into the groove. You have learned everything. You get an A, Doris, but it's not there. You ever walk through a provincial museum, like a museum up in Worcester, where a lot of my relatives live? I used to go hide there to look at the fake Rembrandts. You can walk through a provincial who sip rejection and hostility as if it were cognac, I don't see a lot of people out there. And the reason that I find myself looking for them is that's who we're going to need to get this caravan through the desert. Do you understand? We're not going to need a bunch of people who continue to apply for residencies after residency after residency, 10 or 15 years after they've graduated from graduate school. You know what I mean? And so those aren't people that are going to kick us through this. And again, these people I feel certain are out there. I don't think that, we've broken the spirit of the country, but I sure wish I knew some more of them.